Good evening, guys and dolls. It's a late one. It's me, OMONDI, Juma, and Colm. We're going to be just discussing Gary Neville. Maybe he will have a role in the club, and maybe he'll have to leave Sky and give up all of his commentary. Who knows? We'll discuss that anyway. And also Kim Min Jae. Yeah, Kim Min Jae. We might be getting a deal done nice and early. Guys, this is the agenda. Let's get the show on the road. Good evening, gents. How are we?
Fantastic. Just a couple of points I want to make. First point, I've been watching the semi-final of Champions League. Top quality yesterday. Man City and Real Madrid. What a game. And 2 quality goals, you know. But watching today, standard of Milan derby, it's like a graveyard for ex-Premiership players and things who didn't make it. And Man United has some significance. I mean, Damian was playing in the back three. Remember him? Our fullback. And then you had Lukaku, obviously, looking huge out there. He came on the sub. And Mkhitaryan, how do you pronounce his name? Mkhitaryan, sorry, yeah. He was playing as well, and he scored a goal. And I was thinking, wow, these guys have gone on. You think from Man United, go downhill a bit, but they're playing in the semi-final of Champions League. It just shows you, doesn't it? You know, it's not just all about just purchasing players. You've got to know how to use them and work with them. So going forward, I really think we should look at this and feel a bit embarrassed to see these players playing at this sort of level. My second point is this. Guys, if you're listening, and Sola, I see you in the house as well, Mr. B, take a bow. Now, I have to go through this because I haven't really emphasized what I witnessed on Sunday. We played COP TV channel. It was a big game, sunny day, beautiful pitch as well. And Mr. B is like, where you want to play, Mr. B? I'll play anywhere. He can play anywhere. He played sort of left midfield. And I swear to God, you remember, beep, Roadrunner. This man's 50. Well, I'm not going to say it. You can tell them how old you are. My gosh, the stamina, the energy, the passion. And he scored a brilliant, absolutely outstanding goal. Worthy of the stadium, worthy of any kind of thing. But was it worthy of being filmed? I don't know. We haven't seen the footage yet. You got to see this goal. He got played through. Pace. This is the Mr. B. Pace. Running through. Got in on goal. Cut over to his right foot. Slot it. Just from outside the box. Or just inside the box, maybe. Into the corners. Unbelievable. Mr. B, you are hell, Mr. B. I want you on my side. You're our first pick from now on. What a goal and what performance. And
bless you, man.
You have to back that up as well. Brilliant.
Oh, bless you, man. All right. Look, we just, thanks for one day, man. I'm not good at all of that, but yeah, bless you, man. I'll take it. Thank you very much. Colm, how you doing, man?
Yeah, not too bad. Obviously, I've heard a lot of your stories from your big game that you had. Obviously, last time I was on, I was set to take part in a big game myself to determine whether we went up or not. Unfortunately, we were beaten 2-1. You know, it is what it is. I got sent off in the 92nd minute of the game. Their striker were through one-on-one. I've come out to try and clear it. He's knocked it round me and I've took him out. I will obviously goalkeeper last man straight red. So
Colm.
He was just slightly quicker than me. Just slightly quicker. He just poked it away with his toe just as I was getting there. So.
And what was the score at the time?
1-1. 1-1 at a time. So we would have been fine. But obviously.
I'm so sorry, man.
Oh, shit.
It's fine. There's
always
always
we gone from the highs of Mr. B to the lows of you know, not get promoted. Was that for promotion or winning the league? What was that?
That was for promotion. So, but it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, we've got next year. Manager kind of like give me a little bit of a hairdryer treatment. He gave me the old Sir Alex Ferguson treatment, and then
did he?
Yeah, he really did. And then after the game, you know, he put his arm around me and was like, "Don't worry about it. You know, we'll come back stronger next season." So,
oh shit.
I feel
Oh
blown
man.
now.
I know. Well, look, on Monday, somebody has also noticed the fact that your hair seems to be floating behind the top of your head there, blending into the background. But look, guys, we've waffled on for long enough. There's a few of you in the chat. Can we light them up for me, please, on Monday?
Yeah, most certainly. Obviously, we've got Jeff in the house, our favorite referee from the US of A. Solo's in the house as well. Solo got injured after a couple of minutes while he was filming before the game, he says, and played played pretty well. Emma's here saying, Omondi's blending into the wall. Yes. Jeff saying here, I promise I will be there to support you next time, Mr. B. Bring me on to close the match for sure. Bart saying here, good evening. Did you watch the game against West Ham? Michael saying, does that mean Phil Jones could go to Italy and be playing Champions League semi-final next season, or will he most likely retire and be in Italy on holiday with it? Okay, we'll leave that with last word. Jeff saying here, Bart, you don't have to house to haunt. We're coming for you. Okay, the Liverpool fan think they're coming for us. That's Bart. Okay, there's little bants going on in there. Emma's saying, how you doing, Emma, by the way? Nah, that's what you're supposed to do, Colin. Bring people down and just give you a muscle sign as well. So you've done the right thing, Colin, I suppose.
See? All love from us. Oh, what? Can you hear an echo?
Hello?
Echo,
Hello?
Right, I'm back now. Okay, I could hear it. Anyway, look. Gary Neville. Oh, I can't do circles. Sorry, guys. My I can't do circles. 1 minute. Sorry. Sorry, I can't. Sorry. I can't do circles. What role for Gary Neville and Cole? Look, it's come out obviously the last couple of hours that I don't know where this information seems to be leaked from, but everybody seemed to have the same information. So it's come from somewhere that they're interested in if Sheikh Jassim takes over the club, which we're all hoping. I think we are all hoping, 1, 2, 3 of us nodding.
Yep.
That'll do. Good. We're all hoping. He wants to get a few of the 99 boys back in the class of 92 back on board. Now it's been muted that Gary Neville has been approached. I've just got something for you to read if you can, please, sir.
Okay, we should just move the banner and we can go ahead with this. So it says here.
Oh, bugger. Hold on. Yeah. I'll move it.
Okay, so it says here, such a move would open the doors for high-profile players from United's 99 treble-winning season, including the class of 92 group of homegrown stars such as Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, and leading figures from the club's most recent Champions League winning team of 2008 to represent the club at various levels. Sources have told ESPN that the absence of the club's most renowned players within the United hierarchy is an issue with Sheikh Jassim. He's determined to address to ensure that the club takes advantage of the profile and experience of former greats in a similar manner to the clubs such as Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and AC Milan, who all employ some of the team's most iconic players in senior roles. Sources have said that a number of players from the team that won the treble in 2008, who won the treble and 2008 Champions League, have already been approached by representatives of Sheikh Jassim to discuss the proposal. So there you go, guys. A nice bit of news there.
Cool. Gary Neville. Obviously, he's he's not outspoken. I think he does it because he has to. It brings in the views, it brings the tweets, it gets him out there. He also does some Labour Party thing, but look, we won't go into that side of it. Do you think it's nonsense? What's been muted? And if it's not, I hear a bloop. Hey, the Rebel Meister, what's happening, my man? Right? Hey, how you doing, man?
What's good, bud? What's good? I said I'd jump in because I heard the name Gary Nev and United, and I was like, nope.
Ooh, I'm glad you jumped on just on time. Well, look, I was just asking Colin, one, if he thinks it's nonsense, and two, what role he could take at the club. And while you're on there, Com, as well, just the other players involved in. So I'm going to assume they're talking about Rio. the high-profile ones. Paul Scholes was mentioned. Anybody else on that list between all of you?
I mean, it depends how serious he is about it. I think it's always good to have some sort of ex-players on, the board at some kind of level. I'd love to see Edwin van der Sar come in at some kind of role. I think he'd be amazing. Roy Keane, I think he should come in as well for when players aren't behaving. Send Roy
Really?
Keane in there. Yeah, send Roy Keane in there to have a go at him. Why not? They won't do whatever they've done again, will they? If Roy Keane's having a go at him, let's send him in. He can be the disciplinarian there. But yeah, I mean, if Neville wants to come in, I'm sure Carrington need a dinner lady or something. He can do that.
Rebel, you came on and the first thing you said was you heard Manchester United and Gary Neville. No. Talk to me. Talk to us.
Right, let's look at his situation outside of Puntry on Sky Sports. He went and he managed in Valencia. Absolute bleeding disaster. He took a relatively good team and managed, instead of improving them, to make them worse. He is a bit outspoken in terms of that he speaks for the sake of speaking, I think, at times on Sky Sports, because himself and Carragher are like a Punch and Judy show on there. They ain't talking no bleeding sense, not a bleeding prayer. But if you're to talk about ex-players that are actually working in the field of football, Colin has highlighted numero uno, and that is Edwin van der Sar. He's working at a high level, and he's performing in a way that would benefit Manchester United. Michael Carrick down the line could bring something to the table of Manchester United because he's currently doing his bits and pieces, and if he keeps improving, then there may be something for him at a later date at Manchester United. Gary Neville is a pundit. He needs to stay a pundit. David Beckham is involved in the ownership of a football club, and if he wants to come on as an ambassador and as part of the greater footballing group, no problem. But do not get involved in the decision-making process. Again, you do not have the expertise for that. You're paying advisors for that in the club that you're involved with in America, so stay out of football business. Any player that wants to come on as an ambassador, no problem. We'll send you out to New York to represent the red flag. We'll send you out to Azerbaijan. We'll send you wherever the hell the market dictates. But they are not qualified to get involved in the running of a football club. We have seen what the likes of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming from Molde to a Manchester United. We've seen the chaos that ensued. We've seen it with Stevie G. We've seen it with Frank Lampard. There's more problems than bringing in unqualified people that have association by virtue of their football playing days. It is a big nope.
OMONDI. Now, obviously, I wasn't expecting Rebel to have gone off like that, to be fair. Are your thoughts different? Are they the same?
I understand where Rebel's coming from. You always have to take time to listen to Rebel before you sort of make a judgment. I was going to bite, but he made a good point. He made a good points. What I would say is Gary Neville knows more than us about football. Gary Neville loves the club. Gary Neville is outspoken because that's his job to speak. It's his job to give his opinion on things. Now, some people might not agree, but that's what he does. And I think he does a very good job at it. I used to love, when you go back in time, Andy Gray and Richard Keys. They were a great partnership. Now we've got Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville. And they're supposed to sell views. This is what they do. And they've got their own personality as well. Gary Neville represents Man United. He's always associated with the club, regardless of what happened at Valencia as well. I know Bobby Charlton managed, didn't do too well, did he? He was a great player. Bobby Charlton was always one of the guys seen around Manchester as an ambassador or whatever role he had within the club for years and years and years. You know, it was always about him. And even Brian Robson, I think Brian Robson was still, one of the heads. You'd meet him or meet and greet sort of thing. In the past, players used to sort of run pubs, which was suitable for their needs, I imagine. But now, if you look at great clubs, what the Sheikh is saying here, if you look at great clubs, you're only watching Bayern Munich yesterday. They had Oliver Kahn with some sort of technical role. Salamat, what's the name? Hassan Salamat, yeah, you know the guy who played for Bayern Munich. He's got a role in the club. And then you go to Ajax. They've had Dennis Bergkamp on the ranks. Prior to that, they had Overmars. Before his little scandal, he was doing well. And obviously Edwin van der Sar. And then Barcelona, They all keep these guys legends, club legends, and icons, as the Sheikh was saying there. So when you're talking about icons, yes, in recent years, we had the treble, we had the 2008 win. These players are, special players, and they should have a say, even if they're just seen at the club, even if they just greet their Arab friends coming in to the stadium day to sit next to them, whatever. They need to be around the club. They need to be associated with the club, and I'm all for it. What if you're talking about having a main say, being unqualified, having the main say in how the clubs run? Then that's a question mark. Maybe they need to do some training. But you have players like Darren Neville, former players like Darren Fletcher. Sorry, he's decided to go into that sort of role, managing the clubs. Because footballers, they still have an interest in the club, they still know the game. How many footballers become referees? Not many. But that's part of the game. You should, invest your experience in being part of the game. Some footballers become coaches. Some footballers become managers. But now we get to the stage where some footballers, like Edwin van der Sar, become directors and technical sports directors and all that kind of thing, about the running of the club as well. And especially, there's not many of them, but if we can get one of our group, Night 2 or treble winning group, whatever, as part of that, I'll be very happy to see them there.
Can I just mention one thing, Mr. B?
You go. You keep talking, Rebel. I'm really interested in this one. Come talk away.
Right. Talking about their knowledge of football, that's one thing. That does not make you equipped to run tactical decisions of a football club and make business-related decisions. You mentioned Mr. Darren Fletcher. Now, if you remember, Mr. OMONDI, there was a quote from the learned Mr. Ralph Rangnick that he did not have a Scooby-Doo's in the slightest as to what Darren Fletcher's role at Manchester United Football Club was. He apparently was working upstairs in conjunction with Arnold and Murta. Then all of a sudden we started seeing him plonk next to Rangnick at the side of pitch during the back end of last season. So I'm still not clear on what Darren Fletcher does for Manchester United Football Club that benefits Manchester United Football Club. He could be doing good work, but it's not out there as to what he is doing. And with regards to Mr. Neville, again, he is obviously very passionate about the game of football. He lives and breathes and sleeps football. But in regards to comparing him to an Edwin van der Sar, whose day-to-day bread and butter is to be the sporting chief of Ajax Football Club, you're talking about chalk and cheese here. Gary Neville and Edwin van der Sar are polar opposites.
Sorry, Colin, I'm going to jump in. Just to counter that, because I think that was aimed my way. So I'm just going to back this backwards, straight back. Yeah, I agree. But when you look at Edu at Arsenal, he's doing a fantastic job. And he's an ex-player. He's associated with the club as well. And Arteta is a manager there, ex-player associated with the club. Edu's doing a great job. Their transfer policy, he's behind all of that. And he's done he's got his qualifications. He went to Brazil. He knows that market too. He knows Europe. And they look where they are in the league and look how fantastic they've been playing all season. So I think if you can get the right guy with the right qualifications, and they know, the Sheikh would say to him, look, push for this role. I'm going to train you up. Go on this course, whatever. Like people do their badges, which take, the UEFA badges and that kind of thing to become licensed to do that. I don't think you'd be qualified. If you go for a CV and you haven't got the right credentials, you won't get a proper job. I'm saying it's a bit for show, but anyone who would be interested should seize this opportunity to take a big role in the club and get some guidance and get some support from the hierarchy in the club to present yourself, because you've got more chance than Joe Blogs or OMONDI Juma turning up trying to claim that role. If I had the qualifications, more likely you're going to give it to someone who's won something with the club and means something to the club. It's very important when you're watching, like I say, when you're watching these big games, like we're watching in Champions League yesterday and today, and you see these great Prelo is in the stands today. He managed the club. He's still associated with AC Milan. And then you've seen Oliver Kahn and all these other guys at Bayern Munich. It's very important. We've got history. We've got structure. That's why these players need to be involved still. And I think get them trained up, get them qualified, and then get them having a role. By the way, Darren Fletcher did have a job title, Rebel, and you know what a job title was. So regardless of what Ralph Rangnick said, he was qualified. Over to you, Colin.
Just briefly, Jeff did say that apparently he's a top-class analytics guy, and if that is the case, lovely, so be it. Put him inside where that benefits the club and let him do his thing.
Well, I mean, obviously, you pretty much said everything I was going to say, to be honest with you, Monday. I think it's a good thing that we're bringing some men. I think what we need to look at as well is if we are bringing some people in, these people that we're bringing, if they are the right people, know all about Manchester United and know what it means to play for Manchester United. They know the history of Manchester United. They've lived, breathed, and will probably die Manchester United. And these people it'd be great to have these people in because I think obviously when we've brought in new players such as Anthony this season and a Jadon Sancho and stuff, those players haven't quite got to the levels that are expected of them by Manchester United standards or Manchester United fans. So having the players there that have been there, done that, wore the shirt and walked out the door, at the end of their careers as legends or whatever, that could be a very, very good thing to bring into the club.
As long as it's a suitable role that they're capable of performing and executing, no problem. Bring them all in there if you want, if they're able to do a role that fits the bill of Manchester United Football Club, that doesn't step on the toes of the manager. No problem. They can 40 or 50 of them can come in if that's the case, but they need to have a tangible benefit to the club, not just be a kind of political football.
Sorry, go on, Mr. B.
Yeah, there's just a message here from. Yeah.
Black Bolt, I assume it's Black Bolt. He's saying here, Ralph Rangnick spoke truth about the state of the club. I agree. They kicked him out the door. A lot of politics in football. Very good point. I'm with you on that one, Black Bolt. By the way, welcome to the Man United agenda.
Are they see in a situation like that? Obviously, he wants the global appeal. I understand what he's doing, and if they come in. Rebel, I agree with you. They need to have suitable roles, but I'm with you guys, the rest of the panel here, that I think that it would be good to have these people as voices and the faces of the club moving forward. I mean, Oliver Kahn, he was a goalie. What's his role? What does he do? Exactly.
Yeah,
he's not qualified to do anything. I'm not saying that disrespectfully, but he's not like a Van der Sar where you can see Van der. He's just a figurehead of the club. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge at Bayern Munich. What does he do? He's chairman of the club, but I guarantee he don't make that much decisions. Those decisions, he's just a figurehead.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea, personally. Obviously, look, Rebel. We understand. As soon as you saw Nev, you had the fume in the smoke coming out of your nose. But don't worry. If Jassim comes in, I think he'll do a damn good job. What is it? What is this, Rebel? Talk to us. So, update.
Dharmesh Shah of Sky Sports has been speaking to various media outlets, including Sky, of course. He's saying that Manchester United are currently being left in limbo ahead of the summer transfer window, given the takeover situation as it stands at Old Trafford. Following the third round of bids for Manchester United, and the deadline had been long since gone on the 28th of April, they are none the wiser as to the position that they are in with regards to where their bid stands. And he is currently speculating that it might damage our summer transfer window because it's unrealistic to expect that we can plan for a summer window when we don't know what our upper house is going to look like.
Wow. I'm on there.
You want to stir the pot? That's just like some food for thought. I do think things will get done, regardless if they're not. There's still going to be. It's not going to say there's going to be no money. There will be enough money, and there are some key players that we'll be interested in.
And look, that rolls us straight on to Kim Min Jae. Look, we're hearing that the talks are advanced. I mean, look, this is one we're not going to have to wait, and it would be really, really, to me, it would be like a whole change of club policy if we go and get a player early. Now, this decision could be out of our hands in regards to he's bound to be linked with other people. But the rumour mill, One Football, if you go and have a look, it's not me making it up. Emma, I know you asked about who quoted. We get our information from One Football. It's not me having a having a brainwave on the crapper. So yeah, look, his contract is up. There's a 2-week window. His release clause, 1st of July to 15th of July, 60 million euros. There's no way he's staying after that. Are we interested, guys? We have been linked, and it looks like a lot of people are backing off. Obviously, there's no point in them trying to enter a deal. What we talking? Is this something that can get done?
Well, Jeff's saying here, bring on Kim, 40 million, 3rd week of July. Like you said, little window there where we could buy him for that sort of price. Have we done our homework? Look, he's been on our radar for a long time. I'm asking you guys out there. They just won the league after 33 years, Napoli. It's a massive achievement for them. And I can't imagine that all these players that they have, they've got some really talented players, 3 or 4 that stand out, including Kim, their striker and their winger, for me. I just think you're not going to go into the Champions League and break up a title winning side. Napoli have to really represent and try and keep their players and avoid selling them on. So I'd be really surprised if all 3 who are really valuable players get sold. I'm not sure about Kim. I'm saying this here. He's come from a nowhere league, turned up as a good deal, good bit of business for Napoli, played pretty well in the Italian league. And I'm watching Italian league tonight, 2 formerly great teams with old men. So I'm thinking, and you got Lukaku, who's like big and strong, but like me, can't run. So what's there to deal with in the Italian league? Is it really a big achievement winning the league in Italy right now for Napoli? Great little side, didn't do done all right in the Champions League, but didn't we go turn over anyone big? Did they? So, and I just think to myself, well, how do you gauge this? How do you gauge this guy? Is he that good? Just from winning Serie A? What would he be like international football? Have I seen him in late stage of the World Cup? No, I haven't. How would he manage to get in the Premiership week in, week out? I just don't know. Would he be better than what we got? Was he better than Harry Maguire in the Premiership? I just don't know. So I still got question marks about this deal. Don't just buy him just because there's a little window of 40 million. I just think we still need to scout this guy and see what other mentals he's got. Don't just buy him for the Asian market or whatever, because he's just had a good season in the Italian league. Like I said again, not a farmers league, but it's not exactly pacey and strong. It's more of a tactical league, and I think everything's in front of you. And I don't think he'd be getting the kind of pressure he would be getting week in, week out. Like we just played West Ham. How could he deal with Antonio? That sort of thing. I don't see that yet. I haven't seen anything outstanding from him to say, yeah, that's the guy for me. I don't know what you guys think of the panel, but I'm still questioning it.
So, Colm, you're a goalie. Would you have a player like Kim in front of you?
Yeah, I would. He's 6'2", can handle himself in the air. Quite a strong, versatile player. 100%, I'd have him. The release clause is what, 45 million euros or something like that, I think. But 100%. I mean, obviously Mondi's saying he's come from a nowhere league. He came from Fenerbahce. I mean, yeah, okay, it's not a massive league, still a competitive league. That's where he's come from, Napoli. And not only that, if anybody else in the chat is of the same opinion as Omondi, I've asked questions before. I've asked about a certain defender called Tomori, and people said they'd jump on him straight away. He couldn't handle it in the Premier League. He went to Serie A. Now everybody wants him back in the Premier League. So why are we ruling King-Min-Jae out, but everybody would happily take Tomori?
Omondi, here's a question for you. Is the Dutch league better or worse than the Italian league?
I'll say this: Martinez was bought.
You knew what was coming. You knew.
I have to be sharp on the show, guys. You guys don't really sabotage. Every week I've got Rebel and now Mr. B trying to team up with me and catch me out. Let me just say this: Martinez, was known by the manager. Okay, so the manager knows what he's capable of doing. He's come from Argentina. He's come to play in Ajax and also played in the Champions League, and they've done pretty well with him in there. He knows what he's getting with Martinez. Not just that, his character, pound for pound, he's a little bulldog, fiery guy who's able to adapt. And there was question marks still. I'm not qualified as Jamie Carragher, but Carragher question mark with a raised questions about Martinez coming to the league based on the league he's coming from and based on his height. Now, there isn't a height issue with this Kim guy. He's 6'2", and I'm reading here that he's a beast and can tackle from Jeff without cards, you know. But my thing is, we have to really break it down and say, can he really deal with what he's up against? Ollie Watkins, the pace of Antonio, Haaland. Every team's got someone, even Southampton with a Scottish boy, who can bully you and really run you ragged all day long. It's a different league, different. I'm not saying it's better in any way. It's just different. You have to adapt. Even Casemiro's having to adapt as we speak right now. So I have to be really cautious if you're buying a centre back. Don't just buy him just because he's on the cheap. Don't just really have a proper look at him. You mentioned Tomori. I watched Tomori tonight. Tomori got moved up a little bit. He was up against Dreco and Martinez, and he was a bit. He's strong. He's physical. He can do all that. But reading the game, these old guys are old and wiser. He got a bit found out today, in my opinion. So strength, he's got it. He's got pace as well. But you need more to your game. I don't know if Kim has got that. I'm not saying he hasn't. I just don't know. And from what I've seen, I'm thinking he's not outstanding. I want to see someone and be like, Ross, please get this guy. This guy's outstanding. I've seen him move up. Remember Lucio, who played for Bayern Munich and played for Inter Milan? Lucio, the Brazilian defender. He's someone where I watched him and I'm like, Ruud van Nistelrooy didn't get a sniff. Or everyone he comes up against, he munches, man. He eats them up alive, and he's an animal, and he's just a brilliant player. That's a player what gets me excited to say, show me a Lucio out there, and I'll say, yeah, sign him. But I'm not seeing the same. I'm not getting the same effect from these players. Tomori, Kim, all these guys we're looking at. I'm thinking, yeah, they're all right, but can they adapt? I'm not sure. Lucio was a man who just said he was a beast all round, and that's someone I thought. I don't know if you guys remember, but that's someone I thought. That's someone who gets me so excited to say, I wish we would have signed him, because I see him up against top strikers, top teams, and he handles himself like a beast. So I don't know if this Kim, whatever his name like Kim as well, as a girl's name. I don't know if he's really that tough, and he could get found out.
I think it's very interesting, the flip-flop that Mr. Juma is engaging in this evening. We are talking about Erik ten Hag and putting our trust in Erik ten Hag. And if he is identified as a candidate to be a key centre-back for him in the coming season, you'd imagine, given the meticulous nature of the man, that the homework will be done, the I's will be dotted, the T's will be crossed, and that he will improve Manchester United Football Club in terms of what's available to him at the back. At the moment, we have Luke Shaw deputising as a centre-back, although doing great work for us, and will probably be doing that again next season. But the drop-off after Lindelof, other than Shaw, is, even if you count Maguire as being a tangible asset, the next one is Phil Bleeding Jones, a man that hasn't been able to get in through a training session under Ten Hag since he arrived. He has failed to complete a single training session for Manchester United, and is earning 85 odd grand a week. So Manchester United is in need of centre-backs. And if Kim is the man that Ten Hag is putting his star on, then you have to trust that the homework is done. Otherwise, then you have to question who is doing the homework, because Ten Hag has to have the ability to say, okay, who can slot in for me? And if Martinez is able to transition from the Dutch league, and obviously Ten Hag did know him because he worked with him for 12, 24 months, whatever it was, at Ajax, you'd imagine that they've been looking at centre-backs since middle of last year, because they're obviously always going to be planning, and even if they don't buy a centre-back, they're going to have a file of 3 or 4 of them sitting there, surely.
I feel really bad because I feel like we're all just kind of piling on a Monday, and I don't want it to come across that way. But obviously, you've just gone on about all these players, Haaland, Ollie Watkins, and everything. We've got Harry Maguire, and he can't do that. He can't defend against Watkins and Haaland and Ivan Toney and all that. And this guy's going to cost us half of what Harry Maguire did. So what are we actually losing?
I said clearly, I want a player that makes me feel like Lucio. We're talking about Kim. Oh, would you sign him? He's available. Maybe there's some interest there. My thing is, I want a player to make me think, oh my God, are we signing Haaland? Yeah, he looks the best out there. Or are we Lucio? I got refer back to Lucio. He doesn't give me that Lucio vibe. And until I want someone who's going to give me that Lucio vibe, say that's a centre back that's going to be here for years. We bought Rio. We bought Yap Stam. We were like happy with that. We bought Vidic. I didn't know much about Vidic, to be honest, but he came in and done a great job, you know. But then you have guys like obscure like Ronnie Johnson who formed a good partnership, you know. So I can understand we get players for partnerships, or Steve Bruce never hardly got an England cap, didn't get one England cap, but he was there with the big money signing Gary Pallister, who was the main man, but it ended up Steve Bruce being the sidekick who ended up scoring 17, 18 goals in one season, winning us the Winners' Cup and winning the league titles and all that kind of thing. And he was a rock out there. So I understand it's about partnerships, and I understand that, you know, if he's not outstanding to be like Lucio is, he can still form a good squad, make a good squad player, as Rebel was saying there, because beyond Maguire and that, we're really struggling. But I just want you guys to be cautious, because right, throwing out names, how many of you guys really qualified to say you know the Italian league and you really know what he's up against week in, week out? Because from what I'm watching today in the Champions League, I'm thinking I could stroll out there and do okay. These guys are strolling. I'm just not impressed, to be honest. And I don't think, even though Napoli win the league, it seems like a good achievement from the outside. 33 years, whatever. I think the standard of the league overall, judging by the semi-final of the Champions League today, is not good enough. You had so many old boys, so many old Man United players, 3 Man United players, Lukaku, Damien, the fullback who used to play for us, and Mkhitaryan, key players almost starting out there. And then it's like, I'm thinking, well, my God, this is really bad. It's shameful. So don't be bigging up someone just because they won the league, or just because, oh yeah, he's a new sensation and we're told he's good. Let him come. We could buy him and it would be a big mistake, you know? I don't know. So and also don't say he's better than Harry Maguire based on what? What exactly makes him better than Harry Maguire? Chris Smalling is getting rave reviews, and he was edged out from us. He's getting rave reviews in this area, saying what a great player. You know what I'm saying, for Roma? So we have to be mindful here. Let's measure up at the leagues and where they're playing, and let's be serious about this. We want the best defenders out there. Is he really the best? You know? Is he really going to come in and dominate? I don't think so.
OMONDI yesterday, Rudiger, he played well. I thought he was really, really good yesterday. What is that the type of defender then that you're looking at? And if you're saying that, is there anybody that you've got in mind that you're thinking is that centre back that you want?
Well, yeah. Let me just say this. There's a guy. Right. So Rudiger yesterday, he was playing at Chelsea. He was still a beast. He was still aggressive. How many great marauding runs would he go on, and how many good passes would he make into feet, and how many he's got that beast mentality. It's my house. You ain't getting nothing on me. What, I'm up against you? I'm going to give you hell today. That's what I love about him. He's got personality, and he's an absolute monster. As he proved yesterday, he pocketed Haaland. People saying you've seen little clips of what he was doing to wind him up and get him frustrated and hoping he would fling an elbow out. He'd go down and get him sent off. That's real defending. It's psychological. It's not just saying, yeah, I've got attributes like physical, I can run fast like Tomori. Because Tomori today, when it really matters, I'm looking at him and say, yeah, let's step up. Done a few good tackles, you know, man to man. But he was sussed out, little movement, little thing. He got shown. But I don't know who's out there who's really the next big thing. But to me, watching Napoli, watching Ting, and we're talking about Kim, it's not Kim for me. It doesn't give me that feel. So I'm trying to think of a player right now who in the Prem. I like Diaz, the guy from Man City, the Portuguese guy. I think he shows some sort of qualities that I like in a centre-back. Leadership qualities and winner mentality. He shows that. Is Kim going to come over here and be a talker? You know, will he understand what the Manx are saying? Some half of his teammates. Who knows? You need to have a lot of communication. You need to have a lot of communication. You need to be a leader, or is he going to shrink under the pressure of like Harry Maguire apparently has, who's English himself? You know, so there's so many question marks. Let's not just jump the gun based on a few good performances in a league that really hasn't really shown to be the best, in my opinion.
Guys, if you are still here, please hit that like button. On Monday, I tell you, man, I it's a long time since I've heard you that passionate, boy, because I'm not going to say you've changed my mind, but you've had a good bloody argument tonight. To be fair, I mean, look, we can only trust as Rebel said, we can only trust Ten Hag. You had your hand up there, Rebel. You were going to say something, big man.
There's two defenders that I've been keeping an eye on. One is Josko Dravendal, the guy from Germany. He was apparently going to be going to, was it either Chelsea or City? He looks like a top quality defender. And there's one that we've been linked with for quite some time, and I wanted to get OMONDI and Colm's opinion. Gonzalo Inacio.
I'm glad you're asking them and not me, mate.
Who's Inacio play for again?
He's in the Portuguese league.
Okay, well, there you go again. I'm not the Portuguese league. You strolling out there, sunshine, dominant teams, Sporting, Benfica, or Porto, dominant teams. Beyond that, you got Braga, which is well behind that. If you're defending these teams, you're strolling. Most possession. You're not going to be precious too much. I'm still question mark about players coming over. How many Portuguese centre backs really have come over here and been monsters? I can think of Carvalho for Porto, who came to Chelsea, and the recent guy from Man City from Benfica, Diaz. Those two are outstanding players. But beyond that, we have to be careful, I think, sometimes when you're buying these players, especially in key positions like that. We don't, like you say, look, we've had so much defensive frailties over the years. I think this is really worth a debate, and we have to be really mindful about what we're signing here and what we really want to achieve. We bought Bailey in recent years. We've had Chris Smalling, Phil Jones. Fling them out. Come on, Colin, help me out here with the defenders that we've had.
Oh God, how many have we had?
In recent years? Harry Maguire, Lindelof. Was Lindelof a success? He was bought from the Portuguese league, from Benfica. You see what I'm saying? Is he?
Yeah, he said at a level.
Yeah. So these are okay players. I thought Bailey was okay to start with, but he's injury prone, and then still a bit reckless. So and he's come from Spain, from Villarreal. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I would like to see someone who's like a John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, someone who's tough, rugged, and a leader and an absolute monster, as in Vidic's mindset. You know, will get his head anywhere and really want to win for the club. Centre back is a key position, and I endorse it because I played there for many years. And I think it's such an important position for a team, because you need to feel that you have that security and someone who's, even if you haven't got the legs, you can be a talker, an organizer, as you were the other night, Mr. B, with your mouth, organising things. It's really important. It gives the team backing and a bit of composure. My brother was playing centre back the other day. He was popping the ball around from the back, playing nice and composed. It's a very important position, and we can't be stupid just by saying Kim's hot stuff right now just because Napoli are doing really well. I don't think he's that good, to be honest. I really don't.
I can't really speak about the Portuguese league. It's not a league that I watch at all. I don't say I watch a lot of Serie A either, to be honest with you, but I'd watch Serie A more than what I watch the Portuguese league. And I'm a goalkeeper. I'll bow down to OMONDI. OMONDI's played in the defence. So obviously he's got a better understanding of the whole centre backs than what I do, because we play two different positions. Yes, we work in tandem, but he knows a lot more than what I do. So if there's something that's not there, and OMONDI is clearly saying that something's not there, then maybe we do need to look somewhere else.
Listen, OMONDI, I hope your judgment. I hope Ten Hag doesn't take your advice and he does go and get Kim. But if he doesn't and he goes and gets somebody else, I'm sure with your defensive expertise, you'll give us the rundown on him. Guys, we've hit 45 minutes already. It's been a belter. Rebel, bless you, man. As always, thank you. Colm, thank you, man. As always, the guys who were new in the chat, it's late and my memory's bad. Appreciate it. Please hit the like before you go, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. On Monday, boy, my head blender. Yeah, I really enjoyed that today, man. It's good to have you. It was good to have a full panel of guys. Guys, be safe. We will be back tomorrow. And here's something for you. Friday, the takeaway. 11 players. We're gonna choose a Premier League 11. But you can only have one player from each team. You can't have Haaland and Allison. You can only have Haaland, so it means you have to choose another goalie. Think about it. Join us at 10 on Friday. But this is me, Mr. B. I'm Monday Juma,
Big up, guys.
Colm, and Rebel. We are the Man United Agenda. Guys in the chat, be safe, and we will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. We are out.